C. Perry, Editor-in-Chief of IGN Xbox 360, and this is a video review of the only game that's coming out this month, Crackdown. Crackdown is the first effort from Real-Time Worlds, led by David Jones, the creator of Grand Theft Auto, Space Station Silicon Valley, and Body Harvest. This third-person action game is sort of an urban mayhem, open-world action game in which you level up and beat bosses. It's that simple. Let's just go kind of through some of the basics. You're part of the agency, sort of a world police that takes care of all of the troubles of the world, and you're focusing in on a place called Pacific City. Pacific City is broken into 3 islands, Los Muertos, the Volk, and Shaijen. What's great about this game is it's an open streaming world. You can approach it any way you want. You can go to the hardest guys first, the easiest guys first. The game's open and allows you to play it in any way you want. There is no story to this game. It's a minimalistic, and all it does is really hold together the action. So if you're looking forward to a great story-based game, this is not it. Thanks to the unethical practice of bioengineering, you're able to power up all sorts of parts of your body. You can physically level up, and it's one of the best parts of Crackdown. Like a role-playing game with level ups, your agent improves 5 core skills. Agility, which is jumping around. Strength, your ability to throw things like cars. Firearms, which are your weapons. Explosives, like grenades and rocket launchers. And driving. And by using each one of these, you power up that core ability to a greater strength. The main game is campaign. There are time trials as well. There's also an online and system link co-op. And eventually what you want to do is wipe out all 22 bosses. The bosses, unfortunately, are all very similar. They're surrounded by henchmen that are super strong when they're close into them and kind of thuggish and easy to peel off the farther away you get from them. So really what you want to do is build up your character's agility, build up their firearms and their weapons and their explosives, and go in there and rip out this thing, the boss, like an onion, peeling it away until you finally get to him. And eventually what will happen is, if you have a rocket launcher, you can just blow this guy away. So unfortunately, the AI is not that good. The bosses are actually pretty easy, and the game actually becomes kind of redundant and easy on any one of the 3 difficulty levels, which are, you start off on tough, there's ruthless, and psychotic. If you've got a gold tier membership and you like playing online, Crackdown's going to really satisfy some of your needs. This isn't just a single player game. You can play it with one other person on System Link or on Xbox Live. And the way the game is designed is that the other person or you can jump into any game you want at any time and leave whenever you want. Since the game is so open, it also allows 2 players to play it openly and freely, which is quite nice. If you've played The Godfather, if you've played Grand Theft Auto, if you've played Saints Row, you know that in a thug simulator type game like this, an urban mayhem game, the controls are always an issue. In Crackdown, you have 2 different ways that you can attack enemies. One is you can hold down the left trigger and auto-target them. The auto-target works so that it targets an enemy, and if you hold your trigger down long enough, it'll actually do pinpoint accuracy, which is really nice. You can also target different parts of cars, like the tires, the hood, whatnot, if you want to be a little bit more specific. If you just want to do freeform, you don't have to press the left trigger, and what happens is you can run around shooting freeform. Both are pretty good. The main issue I have with the auto-targeting is that, like GTA, Real-Time Worlds carried over the problematic issue of targeting a dead guy. So if you kill a guy and he's down and your trigger still locks onto him for some reason. Unfortunately, that doesn't work so well when you've got 10 to 15 guys around you and you're trying to unlock your targeting from the dead guy while all these guys are shooting at you. Otherwise, the controls are pretty good. Unfortunately, the driving's super arcadey and it has a weird feel, and the driving courses and mini games are really sort of unnecessary and unfortunately not that fun at all. Finally, I just really want to emphasize that the co-op play is really fun. This game's a really fun sort of 6 to 8 hour game if you can blast through it on tough, and it's all about collecting orbs. It's not actually about beating the bosses, because they end up being pretty much the same all the way through, but it's really about sort of collecting, exploring, and finding different pathways to get to where you want to go. And with another person, that's extremely fun. In the end, Crackdown's a really addictive game, and it's super fun. We gave it an 8.0. We recommend it for people who really love action games and GTA-style games. We also recommend it to people who don't like GTA games because this doesn't have that sort of thug mentality. It doesn't have that super sort of urban feel to it. It's really kind of open and generic, and it's sort of more accessible in a lot of ways. For the full written review, check out IGN.com.